All right, thanks, guys. Happy Friday evening. Got a couple of early games underway here on this Friday night, but we do already have some lines out for Saturday's NBA action, beginning with Nets, Pacers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Indiana. The Pacers were 10.5, now 8.5. Total was 216 and a hook, down to 211 flat. Pacers are 430 for some money line cash. And at the moment, 65% are leaning toward Indiana. And speaking of the Pacers, 8-2 straight up in their last 10 with Brooklyn, 7-3 ATS in those ball games. The Nets failed to cover in 6 out of their last 7, taking on the Pacers. Just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 on the road against Indiana. Now, total-wise, Brooklyn's gone 5-0 to the over on the road against Indiana. And historically, the Nets are 12-5 to the over in their last 17, taking on the Pacers. So with all that said and done, should see some points and a thorough victory by the Pacers, in my humble opinion. Give me Indiana -8 after purchasing the hook, and the over 211 in this one. With that said, welcome to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for our Saturday slate of NBA ball games. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 72% for my last 18 underdog plays on that website, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Membership tiers begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just quickly hit that pause button right now and open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are currently watching this program right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and jump right back into some more lines and personal leans for Saturday's action. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got, there it is, Raptors, Wizards, 7 o'clock Nation's capital. The Wizards were 2.5, now 1. Total was 217, down to 216 and a hook. The Wizards are $1.10 on the money line, and at the moment, 60% of the consensus is on Toronto. And speaking of the Raptors, 5-2 ATS in their last 7 with the Wizards, 6-3 straight up in their last 9 in Washington. The Wizards have gone just 2-6 ATS in their last 8, dating back to last season. The Wizards have also dropped 10 out of their last 13 straight up. Now, total-wise, just 4-6 to the over in these teams' last 10 head-to-head meetings. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the road dogs in their second of a back-to-back. Give me the Toronto Raptors plus $1 on the money line and the under 216.5 in this one. Next game, Celtics Knicks, 7:30 New York. The Celtics are -9. Total was 213.5, down to 211 and a hook. The Celtics are 440 for some money line cash. And at the moment, most markets are shaded toward the Celtics in the early rounds of wagering. Now, when it comes to these two teams, the Celtics have certainly been dominant. 8-2 straight up in their last 10 meetings. 7-3 ATS in those matchups. The Knicks are also averaging just 98 points of scoring against Boston in their last 10 meetings. The Celtics are also averaging 10 steals a game in their last 10 meetings as well. So with all that said and done, I got to imagine the Celtics can get the job done on the road in this spot here. Give me Boston -9 and the under 211.5 in this one. Next game, Magic Sixers, 7:30 Philadelphia. The Sixers were 11, now 12, totals 217. Phillies 950 for some money line cash. And at the moment, 67% of the consensus is shaded toward Philadelphia. The Sixers are 7-3 ATS in their last 10 meetings with Orlando. 110 points a game on average they're scoring in those matchups. The total also went over in 8 out of these teams' last 10 meetings. So with all that said and done, I like the Sixers to get the job done, laying the double digits. Give me Philadelphia -12 and the over 217 in this one. Next game, Pistons taking on the Bulls, 8 o'clock Chicago. The Pistons were 2.5, now 3.5. Total was 214 up to 215 even. The Pistons are 165 for some money line cash. And at the moment, 68% is leaning Detroit. The Pistons are 6-4 ATS in these teams' last handful of contests. The Pistons have been holding Chicago to just 98 points a game in those matchups. Just 4 out of these teams' last 10 actually got over the total. Give me the Detroit Pistons -3 after buying the hook and the under 215 in this matchup here. Next game, Hornets Heat, 8 o'clock Miami. The Heat were 5.5, now 5. Total was 218, now 216 and a hook. Miami's the $2.05 favorite on the money line, and at the moment 52% is leaning toward the Miami Heat. And speaking of the Heat, 1-1 on the season, big win against the Wizards in Washington in their last game. The Heat has also gone 8-2 straight up in their last 10 with Charlotte, 8-2 against the spread in those very ball games as well. Now, total-wise, lots of unders in these teams, handful of meetings. 4 out of Miami's last 5 stayed under the total, dating back to last season. So with all that said and done, I got to ride with the Heat again. Give me Miami -5 in the under, 216.5 in this one. Next game, Timberwolves, Mavericks, 8:30 Dallas. The T-Wolves were 3.5 now, 2.5. Totals 214 up to 216. Minnesota's the $1.40 favorite on the money line. And at the moment, 67% is back on the T-Wolves. Minnesota's dropped 5 out of their last 6 straight, dating back to last season. They're also 0-3 ATS in their last trio of ball games. They're taking on a Mavs squad who's not only taking a little money here, but they're also 6-4 ATS in their last 10 meetings with Minnesota. Now, total-wise, just 1 out of these teams' last 10 meetings actually got over the total. Give me the home dog in this one. I'll lean toward the Dallas Mavs +3 after buying the half a point and the under, 216 in this one. Next game, Suns, Nuggets, 9 o'clock Denver. The Nuggets were 10.5, now 10. Total was 223 up to 224. Denver's 550 for some money line cash. 50-cent move toward Denver. And at the moment, most markets are seeing the Suns take most of that early action in this one. But despite taking most of the early action, the Suns lost 7 out of their last 10 straight up, dating back to last season. They've also dropped 8 out of their last 10 straight up to Denver, failing to cover in all 8 of those losses. Now, total-wise, Phoenix is 4-0 to the over in their last 4 contests, dating back to last season. Denver, on the other side, is 7-3 to the over in their last 10 with Phoenix. So with all that in mind, I got to lean toward the home favorite in this one. Give me the Denver Nuggets -10 and the over 224 in this one. Next game, Spurs, Trailblazers, 10 o'clock Portland. The Blazers were 4, now 4.5. Total was 211.5 up to 214 flat. The Blazers are $1.90 for some money line cash. And at the moment, 61% of the consensus is shaded toward the over. But despite being the favorite in this one, the Blazers have really struggled taking on San Antonio in recent meetings. Winners in just 3 of 10 head-to-head matchups with the Spurs. The Trailblazers are also just 3-7 ATS in those very aforementioned meetings. Now, total-wise, lots of overs between these teams when they get together. 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head matchups got over the total. So with all that said and done, I do like the Spurs catching a couple of points on the road here. Give me San Antonio +5 after buying the half a point and the over, 214 in this one. All right, next and final game for the show, Rockets-Lakers, 10:30 Los Angeles. The Rockets were 2.5, now 3. Total was 230.5, all the way up to 235 even. And at the moment, the Rockets are the $1.60 favorites for some money line cash. Not a whole lot of data needed for this one. I don't quite think the Lakers are where they need to be yet. Still trying to mesh, still trying to find their identity with this drastically new look. LeBron's also a typically slow starter. I do like the Rockets in this spot here, despite traveling a little bit. Give me the Houston Rockets -3 and the over, 235 in this one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just want to remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 72% for my last 18 underdog plays on that website, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, membership tiers begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just quickly hit that pause button right now and open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching this program right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And please don't forget to check me out this Sunday night for my live stream, my live reaction party for the Sunday night NFL football game between the Bengals and the Chiefs. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun last week, and it's going to be a great time this Sunday. So please feel free to see me live, comment in the chat box, let me know what you think. And as always, please don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.